Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another monthly haul, and this time it's gonna be for September. So you're gonna see all the products, makeup, skincare, hair care. Well, I don't actually have anything from hair care, but makeup and skincare that I've been testing in the past month, and I'm gonna share with you how many times I've used all of these products, what I think about them, how they work for me or don't work for me, and yeah, kind of my overall feelings. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Before I'm gonna jump into this video, please like this video, comment down below what's your latest purchase. It doesn't have to be makeup or skincare, just like anything that made you happy. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I upload every single day. I mostly focus on everything beauty related, makeup reviews, panning content. I mostly play with eyeshadows and create these like colorful eyeshadow looks, so hopefully you'll find something that you'll like. And now let's get into all of these products. I'm gonna start with skincare because I only have 2 products. Lately I haven't really been trying a lot of new skincare because I'm kind of trying to use up what I have, but one product that I had to roll into my collection because I've used up my previous sunscreen is this Skin 1004 Centella Pro-Bio Cica Glow Sun Ampule, SPF 50 plus PA plus 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 plus. It's a wonderful sunscreen. You're getting 50 milliliters or 1.69 fluid ounces, and I haven't tried too many products from Skin 1004. I know I've had their cleansing oil, one of the Centella serums. I think I had a mini of their moisturizer and maybe a toner, but I think those were minis, and the only full-size product I've had from them was the like cleansing oil, which was amazing, and I would definitely like to film a full skincare routine just with this brand, but at first I have to buy all of the products. This one is amazing. It's very soft. I like the applicator like this. I like the applicator because it's very skinny, very like very skinny, and it's really easy to apply on my fingers and then distribute all over my face. It's they say that it's glowy. I think it's just like very healthy looking. Like I only wear makeup in the center of my face, so like my chin, my forehead, that's just skincare, so you can see how that looks like. Obviously it's slightly shiny because I'm more like a combination, sometimes a little bit oilier, especially in the warmer months or when the seasons are changing, just like right now. So I'm a little bit more oily, but it doesn't make me look like super oily. It doesn't really I don't really have like, you know, wet forehead or anything, and it just looks super glowy, healthy, and my skin feels very like soft, plushy. Some sunscreens that I do rank really high in my ranking are a little bit more mattifying, so they create more like a satin effect on the skin, but this one still feels wonderful, and especially now that it's getting a little bit colder, I feel like this is a good option for me because obviously it's a little bit more hydrating, not too hydrating, because my skin just really doesn't like a lot of moisturization. I don't know if that's a word. So yeah, this is probably as much of hydration that I can deal with, and it's amazing. It feels great. I think it's unscented, at least it doesn't smell like anything. Love the tube a lot. It's very practical, and you have quite a bit of product. Some sunscreens are like 1 fluid ounce, so you have a little bit more than that. And I think they also have one more like mattifying sunscreen, which I would like to try for summer next year. This one is great. I would highly recommend that. And then the last skincare product is a cleansing oil, and it's the Hada Labo Makeup Removing Face Cleansing Oil. This one is with hyaluronic acid, olive oil, and jojoba oil. And it's a really, really nice cleansing oil. I haven't been using it for too long, and what I will say, the packaging is pretty crappy because it only took me 2 uses to completely destroy this lid, because it's like a very soft plastic packaging. And also when you're applying it, I usually just pour a little bit in my palms. This just kind of leaks everywhere and it's a little bit messy to use, but the product inside is absolutely wonderful. And I think I'm gonna find one of my empty bottles of another cleansing oil, and I'm just gonna pour this inside just so that it's easier for me to use this, and I don't want to have oil stains everywhere. So I think I'm gonna pour it into different packaging, but the product is absolutely wonderful. It's a little bit more softer oil, so it's really easy to spread across your entire face. It's really easy to get in between your lashes. That's my main, like, that's the problematic area for me when it comes to taking my makeup off, because I usually use waterproof mascaras and they're pretty hard to remove. So I do need oil cleansers, and I do need the oil to be a little bit thinner in the formula so that it actually gets everywhere and I don't have to rub my eyelashes for 10 minutes just to get my makeup off. So this one is amazing. And then I have a lot of products in front of me because at the beginning of September, I believe, I've uploaded my full face of Asian beauty, like Asian beauty brands, and also my haul with all of my Asian beauty brands. I have most of these products here. The only products that aren't present in front of me are the ones that I haven't tried yet, so they will be in different hauls. And then also the fragrances. I will link the little video in one of the cards so that you can watch it. But I have so many fragrances currently that I'm kind of using on a daily basis, and so I kept all of these at my parents' house, and I'm just using them like very sporadically whenever I'm there, which is not that often lately. And I didn't want to bring these products here because I'm gonna be moving from this room soon, so I didn't want it to just bring something here that I might not even use, and I would just have to figure out a way how to, move it with me. So I don't have the fragrances, but I have everything else. Well, I think I forgot one mascara and one lip product, but it's just 2 little things. It's okay. I have 2 foundations. So one is 2 liquid foundations. That's how I'm gonna say it. I went a little overboard, but I have the ZC Velvet Mist foundation, and this one is in the shade 02. Doesn't have any other name. I don't know why I always try to read these when it's in Chinese, and I can assure you that I do not speak or read Chinese. But yeah, this is the shade number 2. That's all I'm gonna say. It comes in this beautiful, like, mattified glass packaging. You get 20 grams of product, which is a little bit lower than most brands. Usually you get like 30 grams or 30 milliliters of foundation. So this one is a little bit smaller, but for someone like me who wears foundation like once or twice a month, and even that is sometimes a stretch, I really don't need a full-size bottle of foundation because I've never been able to use up a foundation. I will try to do that next year because I do want to, be a part of the project ban. But I've never actually done that before, so I really appreciate the fact that this is a smaller packaging and you have a little pump here. This one is gorgeous. It's very soft looking on the skin. It blends beautifully. It doesn't settle into any like lines or pores. It looks super, super smooth, very skin-like, but it does have like a medium coverage, and it creates this beautiful satin finish on the skin. The only thing, this one is slightly lighter for me. Well, I'm currently still in my like summer shade, so this one would be perfect for like winter and spring. In the summer and beginning of autumn, I will have to mix this with darker foundation. But to be honest, most of my foundations that I bought previously are a little bit too dark for me, or they oxidize quite a bit. So I definitely have a product to mix with this, and it's so pretty. Like, it just looks really nice and cute. And yesterday I was updating the layout of my spreadsheet, like the makeup spreadsheet. So it's a little bit harder for me to find things right now because it looks different. But I think in the long run, it's gonna be a lot nicer and better way of like organizing everything. But right now I'm a little confused. But this one I've used 3 times and I've loved all of my uses. I think I've mainly featured it in like movie reactions and these like longer type videos. If I'm gonna find all the videos I featured this in, I'm gonna leave it down in the description underneath this particular product. And then another foundation that I also have from ZC is the Silky Lasting Foundation. So the previous one was like a velvet type of formula, and this one is a silky formula. Honestly, in my opinion, the only difference is that this silky one is a little bit thinner, like the actual formula is a little bit thinner, but otherwise it feels very similar on the skin. This one has like teeny tiny little less coverage, but there's not really too much of a difference between these two. And yeah, I do like the velvet one a little bit more. I don't know, it just, the effect on my skin just looks nicer somehow. But they're both really nice. I also used this one 3 times. I have it in the shade MW01. I think that's the shade. It could also just be a batch number, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's the one. And I think this one is like a warm undertone. It's very light because I'm a relative of Casper the Ghost. You also have a pump here. This packaging feels a little bit less professional than this one. Like, I definitely see a difference. But you're getting a little bit more product. So this one is 830 gram foundation, and this one, as I said, has only 20 grams of product. So and I think they were pretty much the same price, so you are getting a little bit more product for this one. But on my skin, I do prefer the velvet formula. The way I use these foundations, I just use a very basic drugstore primer. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes I just use my sunscreen as a primer because, what's the difference? And especially Korean sunscreens are really, really beautiful primers. And then I like to apply this either with my fingers, or I start with a brush and then I tap it with my fingers. I don't really use beauty blenders because I don't think they're very sanitary. I don't like the feeling, and I don't like the fact that you can't really like fully disinfect them, and they just kind of feel really icky to me. So I usually use my fingers, or I start with a brush and then finish with my fingers. That's probably a really weird sentence out of a context. Anyways, this one just doesn't give me as nice of a finish. It's still pretty, but I feel like it's it creases a little bit more in my on my forehead, because also that's what I forgot to say, I don't set my face with like a setting spray or powder. Sometimes I do powder this area in between my brows or on my chin, because I get quite oily in that area, but I don't like having powder all over my face, and especially on my forehead where I have these two lines. It just kind of settles in them a little bit. Like, it's not crazy, but I can see it. And my reason for not wearing foundation very often is because I don't like when I can see that I'm actually wearing foundation. I want it to look exactly like my skin, just without the redness and the little acne scars. That's how I want my skin to look like. And because I'm a little neurotic about these things, and I just don't want to be able to visually detect that I have a foundation on. And this one doesn't blend into my skin as well as the other one, so that's a little difference there. Then I have 3 other foundations. 2 of them are cushion, because I really am on a hunt to find like the best cushion foundation. I tried one months ago, maybe like a year ago, and that was the their whatever it's called, and then one was like horrible, like genuinely so bad, abysmal. Like, I hated that, and I thought that that's the case for every single cushion foundation, but then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it one more try, and I ordered these 2. This one is the Peripera Mode Fit Cover Cushion Foundation, and then this one is, I don't know, sorry, my camera cut me off. So I have this Peripera cushion foundation, and then this I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but whatever. I've used this one 5 times and this one only once, and I'll explain why. So this is the Peripera Mode Fit Cover Cushion Foundation in the shade Ivory Fit 0221 Yellow Base. There's way too many words and numbers, to be honest, but whatever. I don't really understand how they like describe their shades. This one I bought because I saw that it had a lot of positive reviews at YesStyle. That's where I bought all of these, by the way. And I do have a code with them, so if you want to check it out, it's gonna be in the description down below. But this one is amazing. It's I think it's supposed to be like sweat-proof, waterproof, if I remember the description correctly. And it feels so smooth on the face. It completely melts into your face and then kind of sets on its own. It doesn't feel too heavy, which is something that I did struggled with the Terter foundation. It genuinely felt like a mask on my face, even if I use just a little bit. It's a perfect shade for me as well. Like, this yellow ivory shade fits amazing. And you get this compartment which you can like take apart, but you have a mirror. Then you have the compact with the cushion foundation, which you can take out. It's just like inside of this rim, and you get this little applicator. And this one just feels amazing. It's the best foundation I've ever tried. It looks exactly like my skin. It's better than skin tint, to be honest. Like, it melts into my skin way better than any skin tint I've ever tried. And feels super light, doesn't settle into any lines or pores, and looks beautiful all day. So this one, if I ever want to wear foundation full day, which I normally don't, or if I do, I'm just at home. But if I'll ever want to wear foundation for my full day at work and then for uni, this is the one that I'm gonna choose. It's a great one, and I've used it 5 times, as I said. And I think it also came with like a little keychain and one extra applicator, and I think there might have been an extra cushion, like the refill if I remember that correctly, or maybe it was in this one. I'm not sure right now because I have the like extra products at my parents' house. And then this one, this is the Cushion Egg Fit Cover Foundation in the shade 01 Fair. This one is SPF 50 plus. For both of these, you're getting 13 grams of product, by the way, and they both have SPF 50, which I don't think that it actually gives you the proper amount of SPF just by wearing foundation, but it's definitely nice to have another layer of SPF, especially during summertime. So this one I've only used once, and that's because it's a little bit lighter for me. It's gonna be great for winter, I believe, and I will use it a little bit more in the winter time, but right now it's a little bit too light for me. The packaging is kind of the same as for the Peripera, so you can take out the cushion. Let me actually show you. You just kind of pop it out, and you can refill this outer packaging. You have a mirror, obviously, and one of the little applicators. This one I don't know, I don't like it as much on my skin because I feel like it looks very obvious, but also that could be the fact that it's lighter, so it stands out more. So I will try it and like dive into it a little bit more in the wintertime where my skin will fit this shade. And then we'll see. Maybe it's gonna actually turn out to be just as great as the Peripera. I know that this one had also a lot of positive reviews, especially for people who have oily skin and struggle with their foundation not lasting all day. And what I also like about this, you don't have to powder it, which again, I just don't like powdering my face. So if I can find a way around it, I will. And this one you don't have to powder. But as I said, because it's a little bit lighter right now, I can see it more on my face, and it doesn't obviously blend as well into my face as a proper shade would. But I think this only comes in 3 shades, if I'm not mistaken, or 5. Like it's very minimal in the shade range, and it was kind of hard to pick because I think this was the only one that kind of looked more yellowy. The other ones seemed either very white or kind of pinky, and I don't have pink undertone, so I was just trying to find something that's light enough for me, because also the other shades, I think one of them looked really dark, and I wasn't sure if this isn't gonna oxidize, because sometimes that also happens. So I went in with a little bit lighter shade than I thought I actually am, but that had the right undertone, because I can always deepen it up a little bit with a different foundation. But I can't really, well, I can change the undertone, but that's a little bit more complicated. And I do have darker foundations in my arsenal, but I don't have like mixing drops, like the correcting drops. So this one I'm not really decided on yet, and we'll have to test it a little bit more. I will try to wear it a little bit more towards or around Christmas, because obviously I'm gonna be at home, so it's not gonna really change much for me. And if I'm gonna look like crap, the only people that will see it is my family, and they are completely fine with that. Then, last foundation product is the Cute Press Every Retouch Oil Control Foundation Powder SPF 30 PA+++. And this one is a foundation powder, which in reality probably means that it's just a little bit, that's just a powder with a little bit more coverage, but it is great that it has the SPF in it, so you can use it to touch up your foundation during the day and also get a little bit more SPF, which especially for summertime will be amazing. And on its own, it just kind of helps to blur your, like maybe any redness, or if you have any irritation on your face or stuff like that, you know, like it can kind of not cover those things but blur them out. To be honest, there are multiple ways how you can use this. You can use it with a fluffy brush, kind of as a powder. You can use it with one of these spongy things as a foundation, and you can also wet this spongy thing and make it a little bit more like a cushion foundation. I've tried it all of these ways. I've used it 3 times, right? Yeah, I've used it 3 times. For me, it looks nicest when I use a fluffy brush and use it more like a powder, even on a like how to say this, even when I don't wear foundation, just this on its own looks quite nice to kind of, I don't know, yeah, blur the problematic areas, kind of. When I used it over foundation, this one is quite yellow. I have the shade B1 because again I was trying to find a shade that is warmer toned, and this one is quite yellow, so for me it's a little bit too dark. So over foundation it does kind of make it even darker than it is. So for this cushion it would be great pairing, but again I don't like to really powder. And then I also tried it the third way, which is to wet this with a setting spray and then press it into the powder and use it kind of like a cushion foundation. But for me, that didn't really work. It was kind of separating on my face. It felt strange. I could feel it. And also it wasn't very seamless. So maybe it was just error in my application. Obviously, I've never tried to use a product like this in that way, so that could have been my fault. But my preferred way is to have it even like for traveling or, you know, for work, and if I feel like my skin doesn't look the best, I'm just gonna use one of my fluffy brushes and just kind of softly blur my face. I was using this product and then also different powder foundation that I've bought months ago. I was using these quite a bit during summer on the days where I really didn't want to wear foundation because it was too hot, but I wanted to, you know, help my skin look a little bit more even. It works wonderfully for that. I won't be using this in the winter time though. Like, I do get a little bit drier during winter time, and also this one is a little bit darker, so it wouldn't work. Then I have one blush palette, and this is the, I don't know if it's XYXY or how you're supposed to pronounce it, but this is the Early Sakura Flowers blush palette in the shade number 1. I think they had 2 versions. One was a little bit cooler tone and one was kind of warmer tone. So this is the one that I have, and I've only used all of these shades once, and then this kind of yellowy orange twice. And there's a reason for it, because it's not a good blush palette. None of these blushes aren't good. Well, this one doesn't show up on me at all. These, I have to build them like crazy, and there's just like a faint of blush. I found out that you can actually see those on camera. Like if I use them in a video, you can see them on my face, but in real life, I cannot see them. Like it looks like nothing. So if you like really soft blush, these will be great, but I very clearly do like a genuinely like a blushed look. So these aren't for me, and I think at the end of the year I will declutter them. I might try to use them a couple more times just to see, but I will probably declutter them, or I'll ask my friends if any of them needs a blush palette, because obviously they're not as crazy as I am with makeup. And yeah, this one's probably gonna go. I don't enjoy this. Then I have one concealer. This one is the ZC, I don't remember how this one was called. think it was something like Royal Palace or something. I don't know. But it's a beautiful concealer. I have mine in the shade... Who knows? I don't think... Oh, B02. And it's a beautiful, slightly yellowy concealer, which with concealers, I do want them to be a little bit more yellow than my foundations, because obviously you have like redness and like purple tones in your under eye area, and that's the only area that I use concealers for. So I want the concealer to kind of cancel out. So this one is a little bit like yellow peach, a perfect color for my under eye. It is slightly darker, so it's more like a summer autumn type of concealer for me. You have 3 grams of product, which I think is pretty standard for concealers. Some brands do make concealers with like 4.5 grams, but 3 grams is pretty standard. I've used this one, let me see, where is it? I've used this 4 times, and it did really help with kind of canceling the redness and the purple tones in my under eye area. And what I also like about this, you don't have to powder it, because I never powder my under eye area. I just don't like how it looks. It looks cakey, it looks horrible, and I have really soft skin, and like really, you know, like it's kind of paper thin. So I don't want to make it worse by powdering. And this one sets on its own and it looks really pretty. And I'm very like, I move my face a lot, so if it was settling in my lines, I would notice it. Then I have a couple lip products. So I have these 2 lip tints, like the peely lip tints from Hendayan. I have the shade number 06, which is like a deep berry brown. And then I have 01, which is this kind of corally peach. I've used this darker one 5 times and this light one only once, because for like autumnal looks, I do really enjoy this like brownie type of shade, and it lasts all day on your lips. I would just use it in the morning, peel it off, and then use Vaseline over on top of it, and it lasts beautiful all day. So these ones are great, and I wouldn't mind getting more shades, because I'm not very good at reapplying my lipsticks, especially when I'm at work, but I want to have some kind of lip shade on, and these are perfect for just like, you know, being on a run while having a nice lip color. So I wouldn't mind getting like 2 or 3 more shades from this collection. And then I have a couple liquid lipstick, like matte liquid lipsticks from them. I have 4, but I only have 3 here because I forgot one at home. But these are the Hendayan. I'm not completely... I think it's like a Creature of the Night series or something like that. And I have this brown one in the shade 3. I've used this one 2 times. And then I have this one in the shade 07, which is what I have on my lips. And I've only used that one once. But it's... No, wait, I actually also used that twice. I didn't realize that today also counts as a use. So I've used that 2 times, and it's really pretty shade, especially for autumn. Like, these 2 are so beautiful. And then I have this purple one in the shade 10. I only used that one once. And I also have blue one, which I don't remember the shade number. I've used that one like 3 times. And when it comes to this one is beautiful. It only takes 1 coat to make it look like this, and it's great. The brown one also looks beautiful. It's a little bit more like a khaki brown, but this one usually takes me like 2 layers to make it opaque and nice. And then the purple one and the blue one, they are... I don't know if they're not as pigmented or if it's just a formula, but I always needed 3 coats to make it even, and after 3 coats it kind of starts to crumble a little bit, so it's hard to apply enough to get a nice coverage, but also not too much to the point that it like peels off of your lips. And these ones are quite drying. Like, they don't look fully matte on the lips. They have a bit of, not shine to them, but a bit of life to them, which I like. Sometimes too matte of a lipstick can look strange on the lips, but they do feel quite dry on the lips. This kind of peachy corally one feels nice because obviously I only used one layer, but the more layers you use, the harder it is to wear. Like, it feels not too great. Unfortunately, for these darker ones, you do need more than one coat though. So those are matte liquid lipsticks from them. I also have 3 colorful mascaras from Hendayan. I have the shade number 07, which is I thought it's black, but it's deep green. It looks black on me. So that's the deep green. I only used that one once. Then I have the 04, which I also used once. I'm using it today. It's this bright blue, and this is how it looks like on the lashes. It's so pretty, and it actually really shows up on the lashes, even though I don't have blonde lashes. And then I have 02, which is a white one. I think I've used this one like 3 or 4 times. It's absolutely wonderful. And I like the fact that the wand is really small and tiny, so you can actually get everywhere, even on your lower lashes, because I like to use these more on my lower lashes than my top lashes. Sometimes I do both, but a lot of the times I just use it on my lower lashes. So this applicator is amazing for that, and I like the formula. It takes like 2 to 3 coats to get them to the full opacity, and that, I think that goes for like every colorful mascara. I've never tried colorful mascaras that wouldn't take multiple coats to actually show up. So those are amazing. And then I have these liquid dual eyeliners. You have one shade that is like a glitter liquid, and then the other one, which is a matte one. And these are also from Hendayan. It's the 2-in-1 liquid eyeliners. I have a gray, a blue, and a yellow. I've used all of them, well, once or twice. No, I've used these 2 once and the yellow one twice. The yellow is very neon-y. It's the shade 04. So this one is great. I like to use neon eyeliners, and it actually has a nice applicator. It's a little brush. It's very tiny, very thin, easy to use, especially if you have hooded eyes like me. It works. Then the gray one also looks really nice if you want a little bit more like lighter or neutral type of eyeliner. I would definitely go for gray, and I like the fact that you have silver glitters. You won't be able to get a like straight line out of these glitter toppery liners, but they're great for an accent, maybe for like special events and stuff like that. And then this blue one, this one is so gorgeous. This shade, I love shades like these. They're so amazing. And yeah, I normally don't really buy liquid liners, but I wanted to try these, so I did, and they're actually great. So if you're on a hunt for these, and they're very inexpensive. This entire brand is very inexpensive, so I feel like for special makeup that you don't wear all that much, but you want to have a couple different products for once in a while, and you don't want to invest in these, I would highly recommend. And then the last product, I know, finally, is a eyeshadow palette. I only have one that I've been testing, I think. Wait, no, I'm stupid. There's obviously 2, because in the Full Face of Asian Beauty brands, I also tested an eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna start with the smaller one. This is the Sheen Effect eyeshadow palette. It's a small 9 pan. I think it's called Chameleon something, but again, it's in Chinese, so I can't read it. And this one I've used for 8 different looks, and I've used all of the shades at least 3 times. This pink one I've used 4 times, and I think that's the only one. All of the other ones I've used 3 times, which is usually my goal For my monthly hauls, if I feature an eyeshadow palette, I like to use every single shade at least 3 times so that I can try it in different combinations and I can actually tell you if I like that shade or not. All of these feel amazing. They're quite pigmented, to be honest, and the shimmers are absolutely wonderful. They're so sparkly, so good looking. They don't crease on the eyes at all, and they're even kind of holochrome. Like this one at the top is definitely a holochrome, and then the other ones also have kind of a bit of hollow sparkle inside. So this one is amazing. I don't know how much of it you're getting because it doesn't really say anything on the packaging, but it's a small palette. I don't think you're getting more than 1 gram per each eyeshadow. I think it's probably gonna be a little bit less than 1 gram. And that is fine for me because it takes forever to use up an eyeshadow, especially if you have like 70 palettes like me. So this is fine, and it's a great color story. It's perfect for autumn. I'm really enjoying that, and I've worn it multiple times, as I said, for 8 different looks, and I've enjoyed all of the looks that I created with this little palette. It's a great little addition for my collection. And then the last one is another eyeshadow palette, and sorry, I need to find my spreadsheet. And this one is from Nomad Cosmetics. It's the Salem Witch City palette, which is one of their newest palettes. I absolutely adore this color story. It's like a pumpkin patch and then this like Halloween purple dark corner over here. I've used this palette for 12 different looks, so I worn it for 12 days, and I've used all of the shades 3 times, right? Yeah, all of them. I haven't been able to use them more than that because, you know, I was kind of swamped with a lot of different reviews that I've been filming my project level up, because I'm currently at level 3, so it's a little bit more complicated to reach for every single shade that many times. And but still, 12 looks is amazing, and I really enjoyed this palette. The mattes are just as wonderful as Nomad is known for, and the shimmers, most of them are really good. Like they're definitely the newest formula from them. Like this silvery one, very sparkly, very beautiful. This purple to blue duochrome, also wonderful and sparkly. I don't particularly like the orange and the red because they are more like almost satins, like kind of satin to metallic. And then these are very soft, sparkly formula. Like it's not that they're not sparkly, but they're so soft and very sheer, so they don't really show up too much, and you do have to layer them quite a bit. I mean, you can barely see the imprint here because I had to really layer it, and the same goes for the green shimmer. The mattes are stunning. I do enjoy this the orange and the green, and you can probably see it because they look the most used out of all of them. I also really enjoy these grays because they look more purple on me, especially this one. This one looks almost like a periwinkle blue purple type of shade. So they're nice shades for me to use. I'm quite impressed by this one called Howling Halloween. It's kind of like a gray berry metally shade. I don't know how else to describe it. And it looks really pretty on the lids. Let me actually show you how it looks like in the swatch. I normally don't swatch, but I want to show you this particular shade. I don't know, maybe it's the season, but I really like this shade a lot. And I even used this palette in my recent Nomad Cosmetics palette bingo. I've used it in one of my Halloween looks. I think it's the last one, so I will leave that in the card, and if I don't have enough space for the cards, it's gonna be down in the description, but I think I'm gonna put it in the card. And obviously I'm gonna also attach the initial review of this, but I really enjoy this. It's one of my favorite palettes from Nomad that I have in my collection. It still doesn't beat the Fuji 5 Lakes, but I think it's like it's definitely in the top 3. I don't know which order it would be, but it's definitely in my top 3. And I have quite a lot of Nomad palettes. I think I have like 7 or 8 or something like that. So this one is amazing, and these are all the these are all the products that I wanted to talk about today. It's quite a lot, and that comes with the territory of the full face off, because obviously there's a lot of products that you try for that video. I do have a couple products for next month, but I think it's gonna be a lot shorter video with a lot less products. That's just a little warning. But let me know if you've enjoyed this one, and if you tried any of these products, leave your review down below, or your impression of these. And thank you so much for sticking till the end. I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So bye guys.